So it seems like The Last of Us has gone on a full-on LGBTQ pandering train, and their show media counterparts are loving every single second of it. Now, again, I'm going to say it very clearly in the beginning of this video because I know a lot of people who just stop by the channel to dislike the video because I make LGBTQ content that's not usually in the most favorable eye. I'm going to come out and say very plainly that, yes, we all know that Ellie and Riley are gay. We all know that Bill and Frank were gay. We get it. We understand it. I've said it from the beginning. Nobody cares about that. I don't have an issue with that. I've even watched the show with full intention and understanding of that was going to be on the screen. So let's not pretend like we didn't know that wasn't going to be on the screen. However, what they're doing now, especially like websites like cbr.com or Kotaku or Game Rant, IGN, all these companies, all these websites, these show media websites, at the moment they see anything that's either LGBTQ led or diversely led, they are going to jump on it like locusts. They love this kind of stuff, and it's going to allow them to write a million articles that have headlines like this. So this article from cbr.com, which comes from Haley McCullough. Let's see what Haley McCullough. Wow, Haley. Wow, Haley. I'm not. Guys, fuck. What, just one day I would like to be surprised, guys. Just one day I would honestly like to be surprised when I click on a picture of a writer. I would just like to be surprised and just not be right in my assumption. But you guys already know like what I was going to say before I even clicked this picture. But that's besides the point. It says Bella Ramsey's Ellie helped LGBTQ plus Last of Us fans embrace their identity. Oh, so okay. So all it took for these LGBTQ people to embrace their identity in real life was to watch two underage girls in a post-apocalyptic setting have a little makeout sesh. That's all it took, apparently. Very interesting reason to finally want to be okay with your identity. But okay, I'll give it to you. Whatever, if that's your thing, no problem. The Last of Us star Bella Ramsey discusses how their confidence and authenticity in their queer identity have positively impacted fans and viewers. I've seen this picture, unfortunately, passed around way too much, way more than I would like to acknowledge. But unfortunately, it's been passed around so much. It's really terrible to look at, and not because they're gay. It's just because first off, they're supposed to be underage. Second off, it's so clearly uncomfortable. Like they really don't look that comfortable together, even if they're both gay, non-binary, whatever the fuck they identify as in real life. They just don't look very comfortable. There's not a lot of chemistry here, but that's besides the point. I'm going to be called a bigot for that, but I embrace it. It says actor Bella Ramsey, who portrays Ellie in HBO's The Last of Us, recently discussed a positive response to their confidence on and off the screen. Speaking with W Magazine, Ramsey, who identifies as non-binary, which, by the way, happened recently, right about the time that the show is about to come out, very convenient, explained how LGBTQ plus fans have been reaching out to them. I've had people message me and say that it's helped people come to terms with who they are. They stated, that's been really nice to hear as well. I guess I just want to be authentic. Yeah, you wanted to be so authentic that it took you up until the show was about to come out for you to finally say that you're part of the LGBTQ community, that you're non-binary, all this good stuff. Very good timing there. I would even argue maybe even purposeful. But, again, this is who you supposedly are. This is your authentic self. Okay, it just seems very convenient in terms of timing. It was just an ever-evolving process they added, but I'm super comfy in who I am. It's like how I can be my trusted self in the world. In a different interview with GQ Magazine, Ramsey detailed how co-star Pedro Pascal, who plays Joel in The Last of Us, has supported them on their journey and how the two have spoken often about sexuality and gender. That's a little weird. that's a little weird. You lost me there. And the conversations weren't always deep. They could be funny, humorous, the whole spectrum. We were just very honest and open with each other, Ramsey stated. Again, very weird. Very, very weird. Naughty Dog's The Last of Us dropped in 2013 and went on to win several Game of the Year awards from notable institutions in the industry like DICE Awards, SXSW Gaming Awards, and British Academy Video Game Awards. The narrative sees players take control of Joel, a disillusioned smuggler who is tasked with escorting a teenager named Ellie across a post-apocalyptic United States because she may be the key to ending the ongoing zombie outbreak. Along the way, the pair battle both zombies and hostile humans and develop something akin to a father-daughter relationship. Now again, that entire first initial video game didn't really have much focus on Ellie's sexuality. Honestly, nobody even cared. Yeah, she was gay, but it wasn't even a big deal. Honestly, I played through The Last of Us multiple times. I'm a huge fan of The Last of Us game. Never once did I ever think, oh, this is so stunning and brave, or oh, I can't play this because Ellie's gay. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So I don't know why they make it into such a big thing, as if The Last of Us TV show is the first time to ever showcase an LGBTQ relationship. We know that's bullshit. So I don't really know why they are trying to make it so stunning and brave. But again, any chance to pander, they're going to take it. It says, while Naughty Dog's The Last of Us features LGBTQ characters and relationships, namely in the form of Riley and Ellie's tragic romance, the HBO series has expanded the level of representation. For example, the game's minor characters, Bill and Frank, are explicitly a gay couple with a well-established intimate history in the show. Number one, Bill is not a side character. Bill is actually a very, very well-known main character. Frank was a side character. You really don't get a lot of Frank, but that's because Frank absolutely hated Bill. And that's the true story of their relationship. Frank hated Bill, hated the way Bill lived, didn't like his survivalistic mindset, got sick of it, ended up leaving, got bitten, and committed suicide. That's the true story, not this fucking gay version of The Notebook that you got for episode 3, that they want to convince you that it's all gay and happy because once you're gay, you're happy, that kind of a thing. Nobody really cares. It says, however, there's been criticism levied at how the HBO series portrays its queer characters, with some arguing that the show relies too much on problematic storytelling patterns. In the case of Bill and Frank, both men end up dying by suicide, which some fans assert makes them victims of bury your gays trope. Well, that's the thing. When you force diversity, right? When you force diversity, a lot of these people, they really can't think too far into it because they're not actually making a character that is any sort of like in-depth, right? They're just focused on the diversity that character brings. So if you tell someone, oh, you got to write a gay character, okay, they're just going to write a character who happens to be gay. And the entire depth to that character is completely a second thought. It's an afterthought. Nobody cares. So once they get through the whole usefulness of them being gay, they kill them off. And that's why the bury a gay trope exists, because you're forcing them to make characters they don't want to actually make. They don't want to put any real thought into these characters. These characters' entire personalities have to do with them being gay. Usually, on average. Now, when it comes to Bill and Frank, not so much. The way they portrayed it, maybe. But in the actual game, not so much. Nobody really cared. Again, Bill and Frank were very similar to Ellie and Riley. Nobody cared. Nobody cares about Ellie and Dina being gay. Nobody cares. The story is what matters, and thankfully, it doesn't really affect the story that much. Now, with Abby and Joel, that was a big thing that a lot of people had a problem with, myself included, and that affected the story tremendously. But who Ellie decides to bang in a post-apocalyptic world is the least of my concerns. But the fact that people have a complaint with two gay men committing suicide in the same episode they are introduced just goes to further the notion that you cannot make any of these people happy. They're not going to be happy with any sort of the representation they get. They want representation without actually having any of the problems they may come with that representation. So if a character is meant to die, now you got to walk on eggshells with killing off that character because now that character is a gay character, and with these characters, you cannot have them face the same issues that straight characters face, apparently, because then you end up being a trope. So it's a lose-lose situation. You're never going to win when it comes to representation for anything other than straight white people, and even then, they're usually evil, and people are starting to call that out too, so that's becoming its own trope. And this is the problem when you focus on diversity, you focus on checkboxes over just making a story and focusing on making a good story. If you don't focus on making a good story and you focus on the checkboxes within that story, all you're going to get is a hollow husk of whatever could have actually been. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.